Hey guys, so I was debating whether or not to do a blog or a video about this. So I decided to do a video that I will be putting on my blog. So, as I'm sure everybody heard by now, Demi Lavato had an overdose 2 days ago now, I believe, from when I'm making this video. It's gonna go up over the weekend. But I wanted to discuss, because I've talked about addiction a couple of times on here, because we lost my brother to addiction and suicide, which his anniversary is coming up next month, and what would have been his birthday is a week before his, like a week and a half before his anniversary. And then my dad's anniversary is 2 days from when I'm making this video. So it's going to be a rocky couple of weeks. But anyways, I wanted to talk about the fact that you can't force somebody to get help in whatever they're struggling with. Like, it could be as simple as me, I have a disability. Nobody can force me to accept helping me physically do something. I'm stubborn. Unless you're a complete stranger who I don't really want to offend, or unless you're hot, or unless you're too nice for me to want to offend, I will probably decline help. There's people who have insisted, but I will decline. That's the very simplistic version of it. Addicts generally do decline help a lot. And we, as the loved ones of addicts, have to come to terms with the fact that they might not get help. And it's hard, because you have the worst case scenarios going on in your head. Unfortunately, the worst case scenario did happen to my brother. But no matter how many times you make them swear they won't do it again, promise, no matter how many times you make the phone calls or take them there, they do have to want it. Now, there's exceptions to that. I have a video of whether or not addiction is a disease or a choice. I believe it's both. I believe you choose to start. You don't really have a choice of whether your body's going to become dependent and addicted to it, but you also have a choice of whether or not to get sober. I'm not saying that choice is easy, but I do believe those parts have some choice elements to them. And we, as the loved ones of addicts, or even dysfunctional people in general, have a choice of whether or not we're going to tolerate it, what we're going to tolerate, what we're going to help with, what we're not going to help with. And you can't force somebody to change. You can't, no matter, because they're not seeing your fears, your worries. They're seeing either the instant gratification or even how much their life sucks right now. They're so hyper-focused on that they're either looking for a quick fix, a way to forget, or they're so overwhelmed that all they can do is look at what's wrong. You know, it's unfortunate. There are people, thank God, who do make the choice to change their life. There are people who are forced by the legal system either to jail or to rehab. With, like I said, it's not just with addiction, but this particular video, generally, I'm speaking about addiction. You know, you spend long enough in there, you might see the benefits of it. You know, not the benefits of a jail time or anything, but I mean the benefits of sobriety. Or just changing your life for whatever reason ended you up in that situation. So I'm not saying it's not possible, but what I am saying is the stronger options that we have as loved ones of addicts and loved ones of, you know, anybody who we want to change their life is just be there to love them, not be there to enable them, which in turn is actually loving them. Doesn't feel like it at the time. I know, I've been there. But never giving up that hope. I'm telling you, like, I had screaming matches. I stopped talking to my brother. Like, I wouldn't even look at him sometimes. But I never gave up that hope until I heard he took his last breath. You can't. My father was sober 27 years before he died. He didn't die of anything related to addiction whatsoever. He died of cancer and pneumonia. So I've seen the success of it. And I have friends through losing my brother, well, not even losing my brother, but through, you know, being interested in the topic of addiction. I have friends who have helped me through losing my brother. And, you know, one of them in particular is sober himself and helps many, many people, both the addict and their families. I've talked about it on this channel before. He has the Now Matters More Foundation. And yeah, so I've seen every element, every aspect of this that you can imagine. I know people who are sober. I know people who are still here and still struggling, you know. It's an epidemic. And it's, you know, it's not getting the attention it deserves. So people, unless you're directly affected by it, a lot of people don't think about it every day. And I think, you know, I personally don't, I know people can help if they're not directly, like, I mean, personally and directly affected by it, but I don't feel ready or comfortable to help an addict solely. I feel like they would need other avenues as well as my support, but I am more than willing to help anybody who is a family member of an addict, who lost an addict, whether it's to the disease or to suicide, like I lost my brother, or to health complications because of addiction, whatever it might be. I would love in any way to be of support, because that is, as far as I'm concerned, part of the statistics in the epidemic. The families and loved ones need to be in those statistics, because as my friend Louis Delgado from the Now Matters More Foundation told me after I lost my brother, and I was experiencing some guilt because of, you know, not speaking to him at certain times, he said, you feel that way because you're still sick with his disease. It's a family disease. It's a loved one disease. Everybody around the addict is affected, whether they're here or not. Even when they're sober, to be honest with you. There's people who love an addict and are happy that they're sober, but it doesn't erase however many years that they weren't and some of the damage that was done. And I think if anything comes from the light that is shined on addiction because of a tragedy like this with a celebrity, and like just as Lamar Odom, who thankfully seems to be doing pretty well. I was really worried about him when he had his incident. The only thing that we can really be thankful for is that as far as I know, Demi's life was spared. She's still here, and people are talking about it. It's unfortunate that a lot of people are upset right now and saying things like, why is it only important when it happens to a celebrity? Which is unfortunate, I'm not gonna lie. But listen to the people's stories who are posting right now, because they need as much support. If you want to make them feel heard, now's the time to do it. Don't let the spotlight that's been shined on this topic go to waste. And show them, the ones who are upset, that it's only important when a celebrity is affected, show them that you care about their story too. That's all I can really say. So, my thoughts and prayers are with Demi Lovato and her family and friends and her fans, and with everybody else who has lost somebody, is struggling with somebody for an addiction, or is even celebrating the sobriety of somebody for another day, because it is one day at a time. So thank you guys for watching this video, and subscribe to this channel if you like this video. I have a couple of other videos on addiction. I do tend to focus on disabilities and different things like that, and some funny videos and some random ones, but I do have quite a few videos on addiction. I wasn't even going to really make this one, but I decided to, just because it hit home for me and I had a lot to say. I wasn't sure if I could make it any different than the other ones, but apparently I found a way. And if this is repetitive, I'm sorry. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.